Hello, Will here with Will Folio at willfolio.com. And I recently wrote a blog post, and I want to talk about that. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will put the link to the post in the player. But it was kind of a rant about Protestants, and the post was called Protestants Hurt Me. And it was basically a post that says why I'm not a Protestant anymore and why I'm Catholic instead. A lot of people become Catholic because they think that's the right way, or a lot of people become Catholic simply because it suits them better. Well, it suits me better, but I have over the years been struggling with trying to, overcome a lot of neuroses about Protestant Christians and the way they are. They have a tendency to be very judgmental and very contradictory to the prerogative that they promote. For example, they talk about how if you believe in Jesus, you'll be saved. And when I was a Protestant, it didn't matter how much I loved Jesus or how much I believed in him. I was going to hell when I died because of my sins. It's not like that in the Catholic Church. So I think that it really stems from a lot of ignorance. A lot of Protestant Christians will talk about the Bible like it's the only thing there is to know about what God says and what we need to do to be saved. But from my experience, I have not actually met very many Protestants that have actually read the Bible from cover to cover. Instead, they take little bits and pieces of the Bible and run with them to condemn sinners and to condemn the world, which is precisely what Jesus did not come into the world to do. So I think that maybe Protestant pastors may struggle with their people acting this way or doing this. I think a lot of Protestant lay people may struggle with the same thing. I know, my sister is a Protestant. She goes to a Foursquare church. She may struggle with what it really means to be a Christian. I'm not really sure. I never really talked about it too much with her, but what it means to be a Christian is to be somebody who is being saved from their sins, and as such, there's going to be sin in somebody's life. And I think that what makes a Christian different from the rest of the people is that the Christian sins but hates what he does, whereas the rest of the world loves, they don't consider what they do to be sinful, and they love what they do. So I just wanted to kind of make a statement about what I said in the post. And I don't really hate Protestants. I just have a lot of hard feelings being around them, especially when they're acting consistently with what I put in the post about how they are and stuff. And I know they're being saved just as much as anybody else, and they have their struggles, but it just really bothers me how they can say one thing and then do another. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it really doesn't matter what you say. What you do and how you live your life is the manifestation of the God you truly worship. That's what you believe. And if you're someone who is very intolerant of sin and very intolerant of sinners, and yet you say you're a Christian, I think that's very hypocritical, because we're all sinners and we all need to be saved from sin, and it doesn't happen on our own. We have to rely on God's grace to deliver us from sin. And there's nothing we can do to save ourselves. We're going to sin as long as we live, and as long as we live, we're going to need to rely on God's grace. So I think that's probably what bothers me the most about Protestants, is that they say that Catholics don't believe in grace, which is not, that's a total lie. Catholicism is all about grace. And Protestant Christianity turns out not to be, because even though they say that we're saved by grace alone through faith, they don't really deliver on that in terms of how they deal with people and how they interact with people. So that's what I wanted to say. And if you would like to leave a comment, go right ahead, and I'll just continue working on this. Thanks for watching. This is Will with Willfolio at willfolio.com.